You are listening to the audio production of Spurgeon and the Poor, How the Gospel Compels Christian Social Concern by Alex Diprima, with foreword by Jonathan Lehman, published by Audiobooks. This book was originally published by Reformation Heritage Books and is read by Chuck Badger. To Jenna, I have led her home, my love, my only friend. There is none like her, none. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Foreword by Jonathan Lehman, elder at Cheverly Baptist Church and editorial director at Nine Marks. If you're a genuinely converted pastor or a church member, I trust you want to be faithful to God's call on your life. You want your faith to be characterized by deeds. You want to be zealous for good works. You want your love of God to express itself in love of neighbor, especially among those belonging to the household of God. You want to be obedient. The Holy Spirit of God has wonderfully planted these new desires in your heart. Yet sometimes you wonder, how much time and money do you need to give up? And are you giving enough? You recognize that Jesus calls you to give up everything and follow him. You mean to do so, but let's get practical. Now you're looking at your family budget spreadsheet and you're wondering, is now the time to buy a new car? If so, would it be better to get the older car so that you're paying less monthly and can give away more? Or the newer car that will last longer but has a higher monthly payment, leaving less to give away? If you're a pastor, maybe you're wondering how to spend your week. Do you spend 20 hours preparing Sunday's sermon, or just 10 so you can use those 10 saved hours helping your church serve in more hands-on ways? With everyday questions like these, what exactly does faithfulness to Jesus and His Word require? To help answer such questions, you might turn to the literature that's been written on topics like mission of the church, or how Christians should engage politically, or what justice requires. I've contributed at length to those very conversations, and I think they're worthwhile. Yet, together with this kind of topical study, you should also walk up to older saints or pastors and ask what they've done. What can you learn from their example? With other members of your church, take Paul's advice. Imitate me, just as I also imitate Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1, also chapter 4, verses 16 and 17, and Hebrews chapter 6, verse 12, and chapter 13, verse 7. Then again, every once in a while, God blesses history with a truly astounding example of faithfulness, someone greater and grander, as John B. Goff puts it. We may never be these greater men or women, but we can all learn from them. They set a pattern we can follow. Alex Diprima's presentation of Charles Spurgeon, the 19th century pastor of London's Metropolitan Tabernacle, shows that Spurgeon's example of caring for the poor and needy and engaging the social issues of the day is worthy of emulation, as is the example of his church. Friends, Spurgeon is that older saint and pastor whose hand is worth taking and can lead us. You will sell yourself short by treating this book merely as a piece of history. Rather, engage with it personally and ecclesiastically. That's the author's goal. What can you learn? How can your church follow? Diprima reasonably conjectures in the appendix that 20th and 21st century conservative evangelicals sometimes avoid conversations about mercy ministry and preaching politics because that territory has been occupied by theological liberals for over a century. Liberals sold their birthright for a mess of pottage by prioritizing an earthly handout over an eternal inheritance. The trouble, Diprima continues, is that conservatives can react against these gospel-compromising errors by eschewing talk of caring for the poor or social engagement altogether. We can be like someone reacting against the ditch of legalism by crossing the road and falling into the ditch of antinomianism.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?